Hello and welcome to the In Focus series section of Drishti IAS. I am Aisha Singh and in today's video we will be discussing about the PESA Act 1996. The Panchayat Extension to Scheduled Areas Act 1996, popularly known as PESA Act, PESA. So let's see the timeline of the video. First we will be looking at the news, then what is PESA Act, then the historical background of it and the powers provided to Gram Sabha under the PESA Act. Then how does PESA Act work and the PESA Act in Gujarat, why is it in news? Then in the end we will be looking at a prelims MCQ and a mains practice question. This topic is of relevance from General Studies paper 2, Polity and Governance, and a topic which is of very much relevance from both prelims and mains perspective. Many a times it has been seen that the questions are asked from the PESA Act in prelims also and in mains also. Then from prelims perspective it is important to know that what is PESA Act and what are the powers that is provided to the Gram Sabha. This is of utmost importance. And from mains perspective, PESA Act, historical background, powers of Gram Sabha, and then how does PESA Act work. This is a very important topic and a serious aspirant cannot afford to miss this topic. So let's get started and see the news. This news has been taken from the explained section of Indian Express and it says the PESA Act and the reason behind parties trying to woo tribals in Gujarat. So there are two important aspects. First is what is the PESA Act and the second is why the parties are trying to woo the tribals. So we will not go much into the political aspect of this news. We will look into what is important from the exam perspective, that is the UPSC. So let's see why the PESA Act is in news. What is happening now that the Delhi Chief Minister or the Aam Aadmi Party leader Arvind Kejriwal has recently declared a 6-point guarantee for tribals in Gujarat, Chota Udaipur district. When he was speaking about the PESA Act and was trying to woo the tribals, then he also talked about the strict implementation of the PESA Act. So what is actually the PESA Act? The full form of PESA is the Panchayat Extension to the Scheduled Areas Act. In this full form, you need to focus on the word extension. What is the meaning of extension? If you will know the meaning of extension, then you will be able to find the meaning of this word also. Means something which is already in place and it is getting extended. It is getting extended to somewhere else also. So the PESA Act or the Panchayats Act, we will just be looking into everything about the PESA Act. So let's see what is PESA Act. See, PESA Act talks about the legislation that extends the provisions of panchayats to the 5th schedule areas. So there are certain provisions which are under the panchayats, but like all the states of India, the same way it is provided in those states, it is not the same way that it can be provided to the 5th scheduled areas also or to the tribal areas also. So the provisions of the panchayats can be modified or changed according to the tribals or the 5th scheduled areas, and that is why it is called the extension of the Panchayats Act. So these areas have a huge tribal population and the PESA Act was enacted in 1996. This is an important fact, that in which year it was enacted from the PCS perspective. Then other than panchayats, part 9 of the constitution, that is article 243 to 243 ZT, it also contains the provisions relating to municipalities and cooperative societies. So part 9 is panchayats, part 9A talks about municipalities and part 9B talks about cooperative societies. Then under the PESA Act, scheduled areas are those referred to in Article 244. There are many articles under the panchayats and municipalities and all others. And the PESA Act says that the provisions of the 5th schedule shall apply to the scheduled areas and scheduled tribes in states other than Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram. See, this is an important line. You need to understand that the provisions of the 5th schedule can be applied to both the scheduled areas and the scheduled tribes, and other than states like Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram. So I'm again saying this is talking about the 5th schedule, not the 6th schedule. It is only talking about the 5th schedule. So 5th schedule is applied to areas other than Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram. These come under 6th schedule. Then the 10 states which is under the 5th schedule are Andhra Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Gujarat, Himachal Pradesh, Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Odisha, Rajasthan and Telangana. The second point is the point that you need to focus more on, and you need to get the clarity in this, that the 5th schedule shall apply to both scheduled areas and scheduled tribes in states other than Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram, because this gets confusing. People get confused between the 5th schedule and the 6th schedule. Then you need to get the points under the 5th schedule right. Now let's talk about the historical background of the PESA Act, how it came into force. Then the 73rd Constitutional Amendment, 73rd, was made in 1992 to promote local self-governance in rural India, that is the Panchayati Raj, the 3-tier Panchayati Raj. But its application to the scheduled and tribal areas under Article 243 was restricted. So when the 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act came into being, then it gave the constitutional status to the panchayats, but the way it was applied in rest of India, the same way it could not be applied to the 5th schedule areas, and that is why its application was restricted. And after the Bhuria Committee recommendations in 1995, the PESA Act 1996 came into existence. Very important prelims fact, that after which committee recommendation the PESA Act came into existence was the Bhuria Committee recommendations. Important to remember this point. Then the PESA Act was extended to Part 9 of the Constitution with certain modifications and exceptions to the Schedule 5 areas. Important words here are modifications and exceptions. It means when the Panchayat Act came to the Schedule 5 areas, it did not came in the same respect. There was certain modifications and there were certain exceptions also present in the Act according to the Schedule 5 areas. Then it ensured tribal self-rule for people. Now let's talk about the powers provided to the Gram Sabha under the PESA Act. See, the PESA Act gives a lot of power to the Gram Sabha, or even the Panchayat Act, the 73rd Amendment Act gives a lot of power to the panchayats. Central area of panchayat is what? That is the Gram Sabha. The Gram Sabha gets all the powers which is required for the betterment or for the better rule in the local areas, that is the grassroots levels. So see, this is the point which is mainly asked in the exams. This has been asked in the prelims before, and this regularly comes in the exam, that what are the powers which are given to the Gram Sabha under the PESA Act or the Panchayat Extension Act, PESA Act 1996. So these are things which you need to revise very often. Then in regard of developmental powers, then the Gram Sabha gets consultation before land acquisition, prevent land alienation, power to enforce prohibition, prior approval of all developmental projects, and control over tribal sub-plan. All these powers are given to the Gram Sabha. I know these are getting little factual, but these are the points which are asked. You need to know about the powers of the Gram Sabha under the PESA Act. Then the power to issue utilization certificate for developmental expenditure, selection of beneficiaries of poverty alleviation and other schemes, control over institutions and functions of social sectors. See, in this also I can tell you few of that you have to remember is, first is prevent land alienation, then prior approval of all developmental projects, and third you can say selection of beneficiaries of poverty alleviation. These 3 or 4 you need to know because these are asked on regular basis. Then dispute resolution as per traditional laws and customs. Then it talks about the collective resolution of disputes on the basis of customs, traditional laws and religious beliefs of tribal areas. Then comes the ownership and management of natural resources. This one is important, management of natural resources. Then maintaining ownership of local tribal community, common lands, minor forest produce, very important, minor minerals, very important. These 2 points you need to know. These are very, very important. Then as well as effective implementation and monitoring of related laws. See these 2 slides. First is this one, powers provided to Gram Sabha, developmental powers. Then comes the dispute resolution as per traditional laws and customs. Then comes the ownership and management of natural resources. These 2 slides are very important. If you want, you can even take the screenshot of this. But you should be knowing this, and you should revise this on a very regular basis. Now, how does PESA Act work? So, PESA Act was enacted to ensure self-governance in the fifth scheduled areas, and self-governance or local area governance or grassroots level governance is also the prime idea of panchayats, that it ensures self-governance through Gram Sabhas for people living in the scheduled areas. Then it also recognizes the right of tribal communities who are resident of the scheduled areas to govern themselves through their own systems of self-governance. Then the important point is, in this, the act empowers. It means the act gives powers to the Gram Sabha. The act has made the Gram Sabha more powerful, or it has empowered the Gram Sabha to play a key role in approving developmental plans and controlling all social sectors. It means the approval of the Gram Sabha is necessary. So the important point here becomes this one, that the PESA Act has empowered the Gram Sabha so that the Gram Sabha can give the approval for developmental plans. Then state governments are expected to amend their respective Panchayati Raj Acts without making any law that would be inconsistent with the mandate of PESA. It means even when the state government will amend any laws or will make any laws for themselves, they have to see that it is not inconsistent. They have to make sure that it goes with the mandate of PESA. Then these are the 10 states, as I've told you earlier, which comes under the 5th schedule. Then along with these 10 states which have notified the 5th scheduled areas, then out of these, 6 states have notified these rules, including Gujarat. See, these 10 states, they have notified the 5th scheduled areas, but out of these 10 states, only 6 states have notified these rules. All the states have not notified these rules till now, and this is also one of the point of confrontation, that when all the states will amend all their rules and will come under these 10 states. All the states would do it. Then let's talk about PESA in Gujarat and why the political parties in Gujarat are trying to woo the tribals. Then Gujarat has notified the PESA rules in January 2017. So it's not that it is very old. It came in 2017 only, and it made them applicable in 4,503 Gram Sabhas, which comes under 2,584 village panchayats, 53 tribal talukas in 14 districts. This can be important in terms of case studies, you can say. But if you want, you can like look after all other states also if you want to. Then Gujarat is among the 10 states that have scheduled areas, and it accounts for 8.1% of the ST population, that is the scheduled tribes population. And the tribals are majorly concentrated in the eastern districts, which touches parts with Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra borders. And there are 11 major tribes in Gujarat, and the largest one being the Bhil. So the largest tribal group in Gujarat is the Bhil tribal group, which is nearly 48% of the state's total tribal population. So this is about the Gujarat state. See, the Bhil group plays a very dominant part in Gujarat, because out of around 48% of the state's tribal population consists of Bhils. Now let's come to a prelims MCQ, and this question has been asked in the UPSC previous year questions. This was asked in 2012, I think. So okay, year does not matter, but this question is a previous year question of UPSC, and it says, in the areas covered under the Panchayat Extension to the Scheduled Areas Act 1996, that is the PESA Act, what is the role or power of the Gram Sabha? First, Gram Sabha has the power to prevent alienation of land in the scheduled areas. I have discussed this point. Then second is, Gram Sabha has the ownership of minor forest produce. We have also done this point. Then recommendation of Gram Sabha is required for granting prospecting license or mining lease for any mineral in the scheduled areas. Then you people need to tell me the correct answer in the comment section, and the codes given are 1 only, 1 and 2 only, 2 and 3 only, 1, 2 and 3. You should be able to answer this question as we have discussed this in the video. So let's move to the last point, that is the mains practice question, and it says that PESA seeks to empower Gram Sabha in scheduled areas to emerge as effective institution of self-governance. Critically analyze. So the command given here is critically analyze, and it is a 10-marker question. So you need to talk about the effective institutions of self-governance and how the PESA has empowered the Gram Sabhas. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Till we meet next time, keep reading and keep writing.